morning. Welcome to my Tuesday, June the 9th. Time is marching on. I was looking at these videos recently and I found I started them at the end of March, so there are quite a few of them. You are welcome to watch any and all of them here on this page, Exploring Paths to Cosmic Wisdom. And today I am here with the deck with its intricate spider web on it. This deck, which if you go over to joeleath.com, you can in fact pre-order, because they're very close to being in my hand in multiple format, in bulk. I don't know if you really, that's the thing, bulk buying oracle cards, but whatever. They are going to be available, and that thrills and excites me a whole big lot. I cannot see who is here or when they get here, so if you're watching this on the video, thank you, appreciate that. I am happy to draw a card for anyone who tells me in the comments that they want one. I don't draw cards without permission. It's just who I am. I may remember before we're done today, and if I'm sitting here by myself, it'll be very soon, to draw a card for the community, for everyone, and for the people who are watching it by video, because they couldn't get here in this exact time, this hour when I'm here. So 11 o'clock on Tuesday and 2 o'clock on Friday. I am always here during the lock-in. That's the Fridays for sure. Tuesdays, I don't know. I think Tuesdays are good days. I get a lot of people coming in and I enjoy that. That's what I'm here for, really. I'm throwing cards again. Oops, excuse me. This happens sometimes. I think I have them all. They're just really excited and they want to be. Hello, Heather. How good to see you. Are you looking for a card today? You were here. I don't think you've seen my deck. My deck, that's my deck, right? My creation. I love these cards. What did I do with? There we go. At the moment, this is the container in which they arrive, which is all very exciting. I absolutely will choose a card for you, Heather. Oh, how nice to see you. I saw on the feed that you've got your bookstore open again. I hope everything is going really well for you. This is the card for you. Oh, this is nice. Okay, I think you were here on Friday when we were talking about 6 energy, maybe, perhaps. 6 energy, all of this month, the 6th month, we have 6 energy. You have pulled card number 6. And this is the allowing, snow on raspberries, which are just letting that snow bend them and cause them to be in the shape that they're in without any sort of resistance, because if they resisted, they could well break. As it is, when the snow is done doing what it's doing and it melts and or the wind blows and it falls off, those canes are going to stand right up again and be completely undamaged by not resisting. They don't suffer. They just go with the flow. It is what it is, and when that's over, they're back up again, standing, growing, moving towards the next crop. So it's a really it's something we're not always willing to do, is to just allow things to happen, even if we have to make modifications to our own way of being in order for them to be. But it is, this card is suggesting that there's somewhere in your life where you need to make that change. 6 is the number of finding beauty, which of course I think this is a beautiful card, but I'm biased. It is the card of meeting our responsibilities, even when they feel like duties. And it is the card that ultimately all of that comes together. We do our duty, we meet our responsibilities, and find the beauty in things that are rooted in service, and whether that's service to the people around us and performing specific acts of service, or whether it is simply doing the things that serve our path forward and progress us towards our destiny. And sometimes that's just, allowing the world to shut down while we stay home and safe and read books that open up stuff and change the direction that we were moving in before we were home reading books. So I hope that makes sense to you. That's a really lovely card. It is, I think, a very real depiction of where we've been with the lock-in, with the pandemic, because fighting back and not paying attention to the medical realities would be to break us, as indeed if these canes resisted the snow, if they said, no, we must stand tall no matter what, they would break. Raspberry canes can be broken quite easily. So that's a cool card. I hope that makes sense for you, Heather. I don't know what's going on that you're having to allow, although certainly being in business at this time is a challenge around adapting to a new reality and allowing the new system to make the adjustments. And yeah, I hope. Oh, I see. Gosh, that's all right. Oh, good. I'm glad that makes sense. Splendid. I don't know why sometimes the comments bar scrolls as people make comments. It slides up. Sometimes it doesn't, so I wasn't seeing your responses. Cool. But I'm glad that makes sense for you. And I do hope that your bookstore is still there when the day comes that I make it down to Nova Scotia to sell these decks. Yay! And so I can't see who's here, who's not here. Anybody who's here who'd like a card, please say so in the comment box. If you can't find the comment box, bring your browser out of full screen, because I know some browsers eat the comment box if you're in full screen. So that's an easy way to find it. Also, I believe that there is a lag. It seems to vary. Lately, it has been running quite long, so sometimes as much as a minute between when you comment and when I see it. Quite possibly sometimes. Hello, Pooja. I see you. Would you like a card today? We're back in the Wisdom of the Garden Path deck. It's nice to say. I'm doing really, really well. It's been a lovely few days here in Ottawa. Today it is raining, and there's just a feeling of new growth and fertility about the world. So it's a nice time to be. I hope you are doing equally well. Let me know if you would like a card. And if anybody else is here who would like a card, let me know in the comments, please, please. And I will just continue shuffling until I have a reason. It is so nice. I always forget to ask whether anybody can hear the music that I've got going on in the background. It's not going to change anything. I like it for me because it just sort of screens out some of the other things that might get my attention, but I have no idea whether you can hear it or not. So I'm interested to know. Maybe it's an even bigger delay than a minute, Pooja. No scroll, no go. Okay, you want to know friendship. Oh my, okay, the friendship you have with your close friends, Vinay. Hello, Kristen Best. Okay, I'm going to read for Pooja. Let me know, Kristen, if you would like a card. Yes, absolutely. I'm reading for Pooja first, and then it will be you. Will it cause problems in the future? My gracious, I don't know, but let's see what the cards say. It may be that you need to do something where you have a spread of 4 or 9 cards or something. If you're interested in getting into doing it deeply, we can make an appointment and we can Zoom, and maybe that will give you better clarity. But we'll see what we can get with one card for today. Okay. All right. Oh, interesting. Okay, so we have number 12, which is the combination of the self. The 1 is your identity. The 2 is the relationship with somebody else, and they're combining to 3, which is a place of inspiration and creativity. And the caption of story. There is so much. I don't know if you know the teachings of Abraham Hicks, but they might be worth checking out in terms of the story that we tell ourselves is the energy that we send to the universe, and the universe responds by giving us that back. So if you're planning for a relationship problem and you're dwelling on it and you're thinking about all the problems it could possibly be, the universe goes, oh look, they like being in that vibration of problem, and it sends problems. So I think as you tell the story of this relationship to yourself and to the universe and to the people around you, you have a chance to be creative with it. That 3 is about creativity, and you can mold it into the story of how this works for everybody to be happy all at the same time. And I don't know what your specific reasons why you think it might be a problem, but don't put energy into those. Put energy into a happy coexistence, a happy outcome for everybody. And when something happens that is good, celebrate it, blow a flute and sing a song and do a happy dance. And when the stuff happens that isn't so good, just ignore it. Ignore it. Let it go away. That would be my advice. It's about how you tell the story. I hope that makes sense to you. Okay, Kriston, would I start back talking to my last ex-girlfriend? Well, what you do is what you can do, and you certainly, I will address this. I would also say that your choice to speak needs to be about your need to speak and not about her choice of response, because you can only change the things that happen inside your body and mind, and you can't you have to trust that her response is the one that you need right now. Okay, thank you. I love being called amazing. It doesn't happen very often. I come from a culture that resists that kind of labeling, that's for sure. However, thank you. I do appreciate it. And if it's serving you, then I'm glad. Okay, this is for Kristen. How Kristen's choice to speak to an ex-girlfriend can be a benefit in Kristen's life. Oh, okay, this is nice. Okay, so this is number 30. So we're back. This is another three. Three being that creative portal for things to come through, that inspiration that comes through. And it's saying play. And I think perhaps ultimately the lesson is don't take it all so seriously. If you want to talk to your ex, talk to your ex from a place of enjoyment and the shared energy that you had when you were together that would fit into the idea of play, and simply let it be. The mallow plant grows in eastern Canada in marshy places. I think it grows in Europe too. Marshy places, and it was from the root of the mallow that we got the starch that made the original marshmallow candies, which whoops, there's something that Canadians roast over a campfire. They're a very not very nutritious, lots of sugar in them, um, but connected with times of playfulness and community and enjoying together. And so being in the three, which is the portal for inspiration, with the zero, which is the sum of all things in the universe. Um, and of course, they add up. 3 plus 0 still equals 3. So we're still in that creative energy. Your question, how did your question say? Would I start back talking to my last ex-girlfriend? Yes, of course. From a place of inspiration. If spirit is inspiring you to go and do that, then go do that. Do it for the pleasure that it is, for the play and the happiness that comes from talking to this person, not from if I talk to her, she will be my slave forever. She will apologize for setting me on fire. She will this, she will that. That's all up to her. You can't control that. If you can go with a an energy of enjoyment, you want to talk to her because you want to talk to her because you shared some wonderful time together, then yes, by all means, go do that. Hello, Laurie Bowen. You could use some guidance too. I'm going to take that as permission to draw a card for you. So, Kristen, I hope that helps. I really do. And if you want to make an appointment for a consultation with me, I still have my special running because we're still locked in. So I'm still doing 50 minutes for $50, 50 Canadian dollars. And we can meet in Zoom or FaceTime or Facebook or any of those things. All right, Lori, I'm sorry you're feeling as if doors are closing. I will draw a card that will help, I hope, to shift that feeling of closedness, what it is that you need to open up to in order to move forward. I was going through some videos because we had such really bad technical problems here on Friday, so I was going through it, and I noticed that the angle of the camera, you can't tell that my eyes are closed because my glasses frames gets in the way, but my eyes are closed while I'm choosing a card. Okay. All right. Oh, okay. That's a good thought, Laurie. We will follow up on that. The card you have drawn, number 5, which is about change and growth and progress, which seems to be what you're feeling you don't have much of. So this is so perfect. Imagination. Imagination. This may be the time for you to make a new vision board for you. Hello. I know I have asked you before about pronunciation of your name. Hi, love. Hello back, and I'll stop and think about what I know and what I remember. Um, this is for Laurie, this card, and using your imagination, casting it ahead of you about where you want to be. That whole idea of thinking from the end. There's a wonderful exercise that I did at a conference once where we were put into pairs, into groups of 2, and we were told we were in October. It would have been October 2012. So you are with this person you're with, and you and I can do this, Laurie, when we're on a call together. And it is October. Hello, Pam. It is October 2013. So you put yourself a year ahead, right? You and I could put ourselves together and say, okay, we're having a conversation now in June of 2021. And we're going to talk about how, Marluce, thank you. Okay, you did tell me that. How did I get to here? Here it is. It's June 2021, and I have my business is doing exactly what I want it to do. Let me explain to you how I got here. And have that conversation from the place of it working really, really well in a year. And in the course of that conversation, you can begin to identify some of the things, some of the steps that need to be taken in the next little while. And I think that's what this card is telling you. You need to imagine how it is when it's working really well. And I will be happy to make an appointment and we'll get together and talk about that. That's a really good exercise for when you're feeling stuck like that. Okay, Marluce, you were next, and you didn't actually specify that you wanted a card, I don't think. Did you? No. But I'm going to. All right. Nobody has said, Pam. I only pull a card when you tell me I will. Oh, that you would like that. So Marluce and Pam both need to be specific. And Laurie, you're sending me hugs and kisses, so I think maybe that's something that resonated with you. That pleases me. Okay, Marluce, here we go. All right, and Kathy, I see you there. I've got a couple of people. Oh, I really need to talk to Kathy. Okay, but first of all, Marluce, maybe Pam, and Kathy, I want to draw a card just so I can find out what's going on. Okay. Yes, Pam, I see you. Marluce. Marluce. You see, the thing is, Marluce, you need to come every time so that I will get used to see it and say it, right? Okay. So this is a card for Marluce. And it's in here. It's this one. Okay. All right. So Marluce, you have drawn number 11, one of the magic numbers. This is goldenrod, which I don't know if it grows where you live, but it calls for empathy sometimes. A lot of people have allergies that come up at the time of year when goldenrod is in blossom. They're not always goldenrod allergies, but it's kind of a trigger. So the idea of empathy, that idea of um, taking on board how somebody else is feeling. The 11 is the two individuals, the two distinct identities, but they're adding together to make a relationship, which is of course what happens. And in an energy of empathy, of course, okay, yeah, um, you are putting yourself aside. You're allowing the energy of empathy. You're allowing the other person's reality to be right in front of you. You're still going to be looking through your own filter of how you see the world, how you've been trained to see the world, but you're doing your best to understand how somebody else is experiencing their reality, because it's different from yours, and it isn't that any of them is right or wrong. It's just that we each have a different experience of the world. So you're noting that it's yellow. I guess you often get yellow. Yellow is that chakra, the solar plexus, and it's the place where our self-image sits, and our the place where we can honor ourselves. And in relation to this card, very much about knowing that we are able to connect with somebody else's self-image, and to honor them as well, without it ever damaging us in any way. Does that make sense? Is that, I hope that does. Okay, Pam. Pam, Pam. Pam, Pam. Oh, okay. All right. I'm glad that makes sense. Good. Good. All right. So today I think I'm just going to promote myself all along. Still got my 50 minutes for 50 Canadian dollars going on. And I have some gaps in my calendar coming up, so I would love to make appointments with people. You can direct message me. You can go to joleath.com, and at the contact us page, you can email me, or you can what else can you do? You can get in touch on Facebook. There are lots of ways that it works. So yes, I would love, love, love to make more appointments. Okay, this is going to be for Pam. Pam, Pam, Pam. Pam, Pam. Pam, Pam. In a place of leadership. These, these, when the mugo pine grows in the spring, and that's kind of what it does, it puts out the growth and then fills in over the rest of the year. These new growth pieces are called candles, which I think is just a lovely metaphor for the idea of somebody lighting the way for other people. Doesn't necessarily mean that you're getting promoted to be in charge of everything, but it does mean that people are paying attention. The light that you are shining is guiding other people, and in that way you are leading. So even if the example you're setting is how to be humble and not standing on the soapbox, you are still leading people in what humility looks like, right? I hope that makes sense. So the 2 and the 8, 2 is about community, the people who are paying attention. 8 is about that flow, and that flow of energy, that balance and that justice and that fairness that hopefully you are bringing to the community. They're adding together, they're becoming a 1, because 2 plus 8 is 10 and 1 plus 0 is 1. So you can stand, that 1 is about your central identity again. So you can stand firm in the knowledge that who you are and how you present is offering leadership and light to people who are around you and who are within the sphere of influence that you have, and that can be in real life or online. So that's rather a lovely energy. I really like that. I hope that makes sense, Pam. Nazreen Sally. Absolutely, you can have a card right after Kathy, who was the next one to ask. So I am seeing you and I will get to you. So this is a card for Kathy. Kathy, have another pine tree, 2 in a row. Okay, so we have cool beans. I like that. All right, for Kathy in Glasgow, the white pine. This is one does not shoot up like the Mugo pine. This grows from these central spots that are they're sort of, I guess we could call them blossoms almost, but the when you're at the center of a cluster of white pine, you have the potential to travel in any direction. It in 3 dimensions they grow, and you're in a place for this to show up suggests that you're in a place where there are multiple options for you to choose in which way is forward for you, and some of them will go far away from where you think you're headed. Some of them will maybe just a little bit away from where you think you're headed, but you're in a time where you can choose which which way serves you the best. The one is yourself, the decision making self that is going to choose. 9 is that energy of all that is, because it's the highest of the single digits. It contains all of the energy. And when we add them together, we're again we've got the 10, and we're the 1 and the 0 is is uh, is 1 again. So it's very much about you being charged, you being at the center, you choosing which of all the potential possibilities you want to pursue. So I hope that makes sense, and I really, really want a one-on-one conversation with you soon. Okay, so now I have Nazreen Sally, and I'm going to draw for, I know sometimes people's Facebook profiles have the names of both parts of a couple, but I don't know if that's true. And welcome. I don't remember your name being here before, so if it's your first time, welcome. I'm here on Tuesdays at 11 Eastern Time, same time as New York, and on Fridays at 2 in the afternoon Eastern Time. So I'd love to see you again. And while you're here, if you like and follow this page, you should get notifications of when I'm doing stuff. This is from Nazreen. Nazreen Sally. Ooh, nice. Okay, it's your full name. Okay, this is good. It's Nazreen Sally. Fair enough. You have drawn the abundance card, which is delightful. This is lots of things from the past, because these rose hips, they started as buds and then as blossoms, and they were pollinated and they developed, and it takes time before you get to the abundance of berries. But things that have gone on in your past are coming into fruit, and you're going to have a really, really abundant going on. The 1 is your central identity. The 7 is the teacher, is always the teacher. There are lessons that have come to you through the process of getting to where you are. And when we add them up to an 8, then we have that lovely flowing energy that is balanced, that is symmetrical, that is in a lot of ways it is like a completion of a process, which of course abundance always is, so that you're moving into a time when a lot of past lessons are they are learnt, and you're coming to know why you went through those lessons, why you had to learn those particular things. in order to get to this place of fairness and abundance. And that may be literally prosperity in the kinds of terms that we value in this culture. It may also be that you're publishing a blog, and all of a sudden you get hundreds and hundreds of new followers and new readers, and just an abundance of respect and praise and validation for the work that you're doing. And that can move you forward into something else, into a publishing contract or whatever it is. It's not something that's happened overnight. Your life has been leading up to this time, and it is a good time. And I'm really, yeah, feel good about that for you. Okay, now my comment bar is acting strange. Okay, I'm glad that makes sense to you, Kathy. Your place of potential. Okay, good, good, good. All right. Have I missed anybody? If anybody's here who asked for a card and I didn't do it, I apologize. Please let me know again, because I've scrolled the line down now and I'm likely to miss it. Also, if anybody is here who hasn't said they would like a card but they would, then by all means put it in the comments. If you can't find the comments, drop out of full screen. Okay, you are welcome, Nazreen Sally. That is oh, okay. I just got what I'm going to declare to be the community. Hello, Mackenzie. Community reading for people who are watching the video. I got number 32, which is exploring, which I think rather speaks to where we are. If you want a card, Mackenzie, let me know in the comments, and I will draw one specifically for you for sure. But meanwhile, for the community, for the people watching the video, I have drawn number 32. So 3 is the place of inspiration, 2 is the community, the relationships, and they're adding together to a 5, which is about growth and change. And of course, this image is a bramble vine spreading across a very, very hard driveway. So going exploring, going to places where we've never been before, which given some of what's happening in the larger society is really rather applicable. So I like that. Mackenzie Hill, I will draw a card for you. And I have this one, feels sticky. Oh, interesting. Okay. So we have number 31, and it is a lilac starting to come into blossom, which where I am right now, that's kind of the state that the lilacs are in. And it is an image of new love. And that is not necessarily somebody galloping up on a white horse, so much as it is an adjustment. Very often, because it's about 3 is about inspiration, and 1 is your central identity. It is you, it is the individual, it is the beginning of your universe, which starts with you. And they're adding together to a 4, which is very solid foundational energy. So this is very often about coming to a place of a new love and appreciation for yourself, because that is the love that matters more than any other. When you can love yourself, then you don't have to be performative in the search for other people's love and approval. You can look in the mirror and approve of that. And other people, if they do, that's lovely, that's delightful, and a basis for an ongoing friendship or relationship. But if they don't, well, that's okay, because you still know that you're all right, right? It's when you're depending on that outside validation If somebody says, "Oh, I don't like you," we feel unlikable, and that's not what we're here to do. We're here to celebrate our own existence and to live into our spiritual enormity and connection. So, whether this is about someone who has come to you and is you're able to move forward into a new loving relationship, and that it can be not only in terms of romance, it might be a baby who's born that matters enormously in your life. It might be somebody who has married into your nuclear family that you just are able to share in a familial love together. So it doesn't mean new romance, it means new love. And if it's a new love with the face in the mirror, that's always a good and progressive things. Okay, huge changes coming. This is nice. This is good. I am always happy to know that people are growing and becoming more of themselves. It's that whole um, what's the catchphrase? Living your best life, right? It really, really is becoming more of ourselves all the time. So that is a good one. You're moving to Denver. Denver is in Colorado. I have friends in Denver. That's so cool. Nice, because you've been in New Mexico. I know I asked you that the first time you came to one of these lives, and you said you're still there. That is a big change. And yes, so lots to love in Denver for sure. Lots of new opportunities for finding meaningful places and people and activities when you move into a new city. So that is splendid. Good for you. Absolutely wonderful. I don't know how far behind the the feed is, but you're saying that is correct. Correct that you've been in New Mexico, I guess, maybe. Very exciting. Very, very cool. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that your grandmother's passed away. That is sad. There is always lots going on, for sure. For sure. Okay. Yeah, because she was nearby, I think. Yes. So that changes a lot of things. Cool. Cool, cool. New love. And there's a new love because no matter who she was during this physical human life, or how she behaved or what she did, now that she is in the realm of the ancestors, there's a different kind of love that can come from her and can be embodied in you as you appreciate that she was a product. Yeah, no, I understand what you're saying. I remember some of the circumstances around that. And yeah, she was here to teach and to learn and to perform particular services to other people's life path. And now she's in a place of pure love where she can look back and see how she has helped to direct those other lives. And she can offer her love as a spiritual being completely unconditionally. So I hope you're in a place that can receive that, Mackenzie. That you know, no matter any of the things that she said or she did or she didn't do or she participated in, that that was a teaching that you got to learn from, and now she has returned to a place of complete unconditionality. And I have no doubt whatsoever that she is pouring love into you from that place. So I do hope you can receive it. Yes, yes, yes. Big changes that come because of things like that. but how much learning we get from seniors who are disconnected from the human condition already. Yes. Love to see the love in the comment box. That's delightful. Thank you, Kathy. It is an enormous time of transition. So many people get impacted when one person makes their transition away. It's like a rock in a pond. There's so many ripples out that touch other people, other households, other work circumstances. There's just multiple impacts for sure. So if anybody's here who needs a card, let me know. If I have missed information, I apologize, and I will catch up. You just need to tell me. It's all good. And I'm not sure what else. If you're watching the video, your card is the number 32, which adds up to 5, which is about growth and progress and change and going in entirely new directions. Very much, it's there's a little Star Trek there, going where no one has gone before. This bramble actually was growing along a driveway, and there was a time when there was no traffic, or there was only foot traffic going by. So the tendrils that reached out over the packed earth of the driveway didn't get driven over and killed, and we're able to go exploring into new territory. So it's an apt image, I think, for where we are in Western society. We're going out onto new ground, finding new ways of being, living with changes that have been a long time coming, and living with sudden shock changes that things like the virus have brought about. I don't think anybody woke up in January with an expectation that things would get shut down. So there are multitudes of new places that we are going. And of course, the cards we've seen today, when we take them together, the idea of allowing, of being in a sense of play, of imagining the distance, of the ultimate goal of where we want to be, so that we can take the small steps now, and know that we're going towards it. Being at the center of multiple potentials and choosing which one will take us. Being in a place of finding new love, and reaching towards abundance that is not necessarily financial, but it is uplifting and soul feeding, and it's abundant and expansive for our fields, and moves us more towards who we are here to be, and how we are here to be, letting us embody the very best of ourselves, the best of spirit, coming into the human experience. And while we're here, clearly we're here in a very interesting time, and we get to take part in whatever it is that we build out of this. 2020 adds up to a 4. 4 is that strong foundational energy on which you can build. And we are here to participate in that building, in that planning, in that imagining a new and different future. So it is a fascinating time to be alive. It is. Sometimes, where are we? We're at 10:02. Sometimes people come in right at the end because they start their lunch break early or some such thing. And sometimes I sit and talk to myself for 10 minutes. That's all right. It's less frequent that I talk to myself for 10 minutes. There's usually somebody here, and there's conversation to be had, and sharing to happen. So anybody who's here who has anything to say, please put it in the comments. It isn't really dialogue in this format. But I am available. Those of you, like people who are related by genetics to me, for sure we will be talking again soon. And anybody who is looking to make an appointment, if you go to joeleath.com to the Contact Us page, there's an email connect there. There's also you can sign up for my newsletter on joeleath.com. At the bottom of nearly every screen, there's a button that you can sign up. And I promise not to molest you deeply. It's the service is called Constant Contact, but I sometimes struggle getting messages out more than a couple times a month. And that's okay too, because we're all busy enough without I don't bombard you. That's I think where I'm headed with that information. There's also, I do, when I'm going to be doing a live, I do tweet about it. So if you're following me on tweet, that's at Journey Align, because one of my programs is called Journey into Alignment, which was too long for the Twitter handle. But at Journey Align, you can follow on. I post a lot of sort of inspirational quotes from other teachers, and sometimes some snips out of my my own blogs, which are multitudinous, and sometimes things like tomorrow I will be live on Facebook, so you can stay up with the news if you do that. I also, how else? You can, of course, send a direct message here on Facebook, and I will find it. And you can tell me in the comments that you want follow up and to make an appointment. I'm always happy to be putting appointments in my calendar. I'm using Facebook Live, or no, this is Facebook Live. I use the private function of Facebook video chat. I can use FaceTime, and I can use Zoom. You're back to live view now. Okay, I didn't know that was even doable. I thought while it was live, it stayed live. Fascinating. Must have been something you needed to hear again, Kathy. I don't know. Very interesting. And now you've missed something, which is tragic. But video will be here, and you can check again. I discovered that this is my 22nd Facebook Live, which is a little bit amazing, going back to the end of March when I started. And no doubt there will be more. I have said for sure Fridays. Oh, it's different. It's all different. If you're using an iPad, it's different from a phone, it's different from a laptop. Yes, you don't need to defend yourself, Kathy. You really don't. The technology sometimes just does what it wants to do. And sometimes it does fascinating things because it's providing lessons and information that we need. I've got one card upside down. I don't know exactly how that happened. Oh, it is number 4. I don't know who this is for. Maybe it's me. Um, Breathe. It's a burr in the snow. And a reminder that sometimes the practical thing to do is to just relax and stop and wait until conditions are right. Because yeah, that burr is absolutely viable and it can grow a plant from itself. It's a seed from a particular plant, but it can't do it in a snowbank. It has to wait for the melt, for the warm, for the sun to get at it. Sometimes that's all there is. I don't think that's for me. I'm not usually galloping off in too many directions that I need to pause. But maybe that speaks to somebody who's here or somebody who's watching. I don't think I've ever drawn 2 cards for the community, but hey, somebody needs to see that, so I'm happy to share it. I have, okay, we've got a couple of minutes left. That's frequently the time somebody else comes in. And that's all right too. What it has done is trained me to not ever finish early. Going through the old videos, I found that there was one, I remember it was huge tech problems, and I quit at about 35 minutes or something like that. But most of them, either they're at the 59 minutes or an hour 1, or they go to an hour 10 because somebody came in at the last, and that's all right. I have no problem with that. It's what I'm here to do. However, it looks, Kathy, I think it's maybe just you and me. Can you count eyeballs? And I will remember that I've asked that. The other day I asked people to tell me how many eyeballs, and then I went off on a tangent, and 2 people came up and went, 5. 5. 5 what? What does that even mean? Yeah. Well, having asked again this time, if you're still here, I will remember. And if you're the only eyeball, we can retire this software and go to something else. It's not a bad thing. It's so interesting. It's saying I've been live for 57 minutes, and yet I'm positive I started right on 11. And the clock says it's 11:59. So there's some sort of a wormhole in between. Oh, of course. Oh, so you're the burr in the snow, having been delayed by the pandemic. Yes, yes, that does make sense. And then what card did you get? You got the white pine potential, right? So yeah, you're just kind of sitting and waiting, and you have time. You can't see the eyeballs. All right, that's okay. The fact that you're answering the question suggests that you are still here, and that's nice. So while you're breathing in the snow, you're still at the center of the cluster that can go sort of this way to over there, or this way to over there, or conceivably this way to an entirely different place. And you're getting to pause in that center. And that's very interesting that Spirit's letting you do that, or that you are contracted with Spirit, that this is how it's going to work out. It's fascinating because taking the pause doesn't mean you are going to change. It only means that you have the chance to make a different choice if you want to. And that makes choosing the original choice all the more positive. You know, it's If 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 you don't change anything, then it's because it was correct. If that makes sense. Now I'm getting funny noises from my phone. Okay. The clock says it's after 12. Are you here for a little while, Kathy? If I video connect with you? Because I would like that. For people who have watched the video, thank you for watching for so long. The cards for the community have come up with exploring, going into new territory, in community with creative thinking, making for expansion and growth, and also the pause. The pause. This insisted on coming out, and it aligns in a lot of ways with the 4 energy of 2020. Certainly, the old system has been put on pause. The message about not being able to breathe is present in it. All right, so I'm going to sign off. I will be back on Friday at 2 o'clock Eastern time, and I will look forward to seeing you then. And in the meantime, what does Dr. Bonnie Henry say? Be calm, be kind, be safe, or something like that. So please do, yes, especially the kind part. Okay, thank you.